Chapter 6. The Gala. The box arrived at her office at 5 p.m. It was black velvet tied with a silver ribbon and heavy. There was no card. There didn't need to be. Elena opened it. Inside sat a pair of diamond drop earrings, clusters of marquise cuts that looked like frozen explosions. They were aggressive, brilliant, and worth more than the down payment on her new apartment. Beneath them lay the dress. It was black silk, backless, with a neckline that plunged dangerously low. It was architectural, severe, and sensual all at once. It was a dress designed to make people stop talking. Elena touched the fabric. It was cool against her skin. She changed in her private bathroom. When she stepped out, she caught her reflection in the floor-to-ceiling glass of her office. The dress fit perfectly. Julian must have had her measurements from the HR file, or perhaps he had just estimated them with that terrifyingly accurate gaze of his. She put on the earrings. They caught the light of the setting sun, throwing rainbows across the room. She looked like a weapon. The Ethelgard Foundation Gala was held at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Temple of Dendur was bathed in blue light, the company's signature color. When the town car pulled up to the curb, the flashbulbs were blinding. A wall of photographers screamed names. "Julian, Mr. Thorne, over here." Julian was already out of the car. He extended a hand to Elena. She took it. As she stepped out, the screaming intensified. "Who is she? Is that the new CSO?" Julian didn't answer. He didn't look at the cameras. He looked at her. "You look," he said, his voice dropping under the roar of the crowd. Inevitable. He placed his hand on the small of her back. His palm was warm through the thin silk. It wasn't a tentative touch. It was a claim. He guided her toward the red carpet, his grip firm, steering her like a ship through a storm. They walked the gauntlet. Elena kept her chin high, her expression bored and slightly amused, the perfect mask. Julian smiled his shark smile, waving occasionally but never stopping. "Keep moving," he murmured. "Don't give them a static shot. Make them work for it." Inside, the air was cool and smelled of expensive perfume and hydrangeas. The elite of New York were there. Tech rivals, politicians, socialites. Julian didn't leave her side. They moved as a single unit. "Senator?" Julian charmed a silver-haired man near the bar. "You remember Elena Vance? She's the one who saved the pension fund narrative last week." "The spin doctor," the senator laughed, shaking Elena's hand. "I heard you eat journalists for breakfast." "Only the slow ones," Elena said with a razor-thin smile. Julian chuckled, a low rumble against her side. He squeezed her waist. They circulated. Elena watched Julian work. He was magnetic. He remembered the names of wives, the colleges of children, the golf handicaps of rivals. He made everyone feel special, right before he extracted a favor or a piece of intel. And every time someone looked at Elena with curiosity or desire, Julian's hand would tighten slightly on her back. "Mine," the gesture said. "Look, but don't touch." Around 10 p.m., the crowd thinned. They found themselves on the balcony overlooking the Great Hall. "We pulled it off," Elena said, leaning against the stone railing. "The stock is up another 2 points in after-hours trading. The photos from tonight will solidify the new leadership image." "You're always working," Julian said. He turned to face her, blocking out the party behind them. "Someone has to." Julian reached out and touched one of the diamond earrings. His finger grazed her neck, sending a jolt of electricity straight to her core. "Do you know why I bought you these?" he asked. "Tax write-off?" "Because they catch the light," he said softly. "But they're hard. They don't break. Like you." He stepped closer. He was so close she could see the flecks of gray in his blue eyes. "Tonight wasn't about the stock price, Elena. It was a warning." "A warning to who?" "To everyone," Julian said, looking over her shoulder at the room full of powerful people. "That I am not alone anymore. That I have a partner who is just as dangerous as I am." He looked back at her. The air between them was so charged it felt like ozone. "You felt it tonight, didn't you?" he asked. The way they looked at us, not just me, us. Yes, Elena whispered. She had felt it. The power, the deference, the envy. It was a drug, and she was already addicted. Good, Julian said. He leaned in and kissed her cheek, lingering just a second too long near the corner of her mouth. Get used to it. He pulled back, his mask of indifference sliding back into place. Come, the chairman of the Federal Reserve is by the dessert table. I want to introduce you. He offered his arm. Elena took it. She felt the weight of the diamonds in her ears, the silk on her skin, and the man beside her. She had arrived.